The NFL offseason wrapping up. USA Today Sports' Nate Davis handed out report cards for each NFC team's performance. Here are the NFC East grades. They might surprise you. Redskins, B. Eagles, B-, Giants, C+, and those Cowboys, a C+ as well. Skip Bayless, your thoughts on your Cowboys getting a C+?
Stephen A. Smith, I want to preface my remarks by saying I have respect for Nate Davis, who covers pro football for USA Today. I read him often, and I admire his work. All that said, I'm going to give Nate a C- for giving my Dallas Cowboys a C+, because I do not get it. Let's start with the draft. Jerry Jones walked away from last year's draft, ultimately with 3 first-round picks. How could he do that? Well, he took a couple of risks that I don't think will be all that risky, because the first player he picked, Byron Jones, freakish athlete from UConn.
Huskies.
Perfect. Yeah, there you go.
Sorry,
we got a Husky here.
Yeah, you do.
Was just what the doctor ordered for his defense as a cornerback. That's a safe pick. Randy Gregory in the second round, bottom of the second round, I realize he comes with some baggage, but I love it that our Herm Edwards has become a mentor to Randy Gregory.
That's fair.
Best pass rusher in the edge rusher in the draft. Would have been maybe a top 5 pick without his incidents at Nebraska.
You think Randy Gregory would have went ahead of Leonard Williams?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I mean, but I don't consider Leonard Williams a pass rusher.
Gotcha.
I consider him a defensive tackle.
Okay.
Just a force in the middle. I don't know. That's a toss-up.
Yes.
Randy Gregory, best edge rusher in the draft.
Okay.
Lyle Collins, obviously, had his issues that we've talked about.
It was unfair.
It was completely unfair.
He didn't have any
But
issues.
he became a street free agent
Right.
that Jerry just flat out stole, I thought.
Okay.
So now you added a top 10 pick to the best offensive line in all of pro football, so you strengthened your strength. And now, Greg Hardy, I realize there is behavioral risk here, but you want to talk about stealing somebody on salary? Jerry stole him also. And if he shapes up and flies right and stays straight, he's one of the best pass rushers in pro football, if not the best pass rusher in pro football. And as we all know, after 6 games, we don't know how this is all going to shake out because they're still pursuing this, but he's going to be a Dallas Cowboy. Then I see that the Green Bay Packers that you love got a B+ just for signing their own. So shouldn't my Cowboys get a little respect for signing their own?
That's the strongest point that you made. The fact that they should get some respect for and credit for signing their own. I do agree with you there.
And by the way, those two are obviously Des Bryant eliminating a huge distraction and slipping under the radar. Cole Beasley got locked up for a long time. He's becoming as dangerous a slot receiver as there is in pro football.
I do agree with that as well. He's somebody to keep your eyes on. I like Cole Beasley a lot, and you know how I feel about my man Des Bryant. You lost Justin Durant. You lost this kid George Selvey. You lost Anthony Spencer. You don't know how healthy Sean Lee is going to be. Let's call it what it is. Okay,
but he is healthy at this moment.
He is healthy at this moment.
Yeah.
Where I agree with the C+ is because of the abundance of question marks. Greg Hardy is a question mark. Randy Gregory is a question mark. We talk about dudes that are potentially get suspended, okay? These are question marks that you can ignore. And then when you take into account the fact that you lost a DeMarco Murray, let me reemphasize why the loss of DeMarco Murray is so devastating. 392 carries, 57 receptions. Combined 449 touches. See, to me, this notion that we can do whatever it is that we want to do because we've got the best offensive line in football that's where things get very, very interesting. Because you know my feeling about the Dallas Cowboys. Accident waiting to happen. Whatever can go wrong will. At the most opportune of times or inopportune of times. I told you before the playoffs. I said to you flat out, it could be the regular season, it could be the playoffs, it could be until the Super Bowl. But mark my words, when something needs to go wrong, it will. And sure enough, it did with the catch.
In Green Bay?
With the catch. It was
that wasn't their doing.
It wasn't.
They weren't an accident.
What I'm trying to say,
got robbed.
What I'm trying to say to you is that we feel he got robbed because we think the rule is bogus. But the rule was on the books. box, and the rule in the NFL's eyes was accurately applied. So as a result, it sort of fell in line with my credo of accident waiting to happen because it's the Cowboys. And so now you could call it a stretch all you want to, but it's never a stretch with the Dallas Cowboys because repeatedly something gets in their way, and it's usually themselves. When I think about Randy Gregory, when I think about a Greg Hardy, I think question mark. When I think about a DeMarco Murray, letting him go, not only do you let him get away, you let him get to the Eagles. I think that was a mistake. When you think about bringing in Darren McFadden, who's injury prone, and then you've got Randall, and you've got Dunbar, question mark. And as a result of that, Tony Romo is going to have more of the onus placed on his shoulder. Now, you gave him a reprieve for a year, because you took some of the load off of him and you just threw it on the back of DeMarco Murray and tried to run him into the ground, okay? But now, Tony Romo, Mr. $55 million in guaranteed dollars, Mr. $108 million man, he's got to show up and earn his money, especially since they made the $70 million investment in Dez Bryant that involved a $20.5 million signing bonus and $32.5 million in salary. You've got to sit there and the signing bonus and salary, all of that. I'm saying to you, when you look at all of that for Dez Bryant, you've got to validate it between him and Tony Romo by making sure Tony Romo drops back to pass and throws that football, especially when Tony Romo said to you, give me an offensive line. Let's do this, and I'll come through for you. So to me, that all plays into the hands of the Dallas Cowboys, reverting back to what they were prior to last season. And that's where the C+ comes in. Had you kept DeMarco Murray, then that would be different, because what you're saying is the formula that we incorporated last year worked to perfection for us as far as we concerned. 1,845 yards rushing, lead rushing NFL, top running attack, etc., etc. Now you've gone away from that because I don't believe McFadden, Randall, and Dunbar will be relied upon as heavily, which is going to put more of the onus on Tony Romo. That plays right into my hands, which is why I say it's a C+. It would have been a higher grade if you had kept with what you were doing last year. Clearly, you're not going to do that this year around.
First of all, DeMarco Murray took hundreds and hundreds of hits last year. He will not be the same this year, which is why he was a bad bet for Jerry Jones to give Dez's money to DeMarco. Let the Eagles take that risk because they will pay for that risk. He's not going to be what he was last year, certainly not running behind the Dallas Cowboy offensive line versus the Eagles offensive line.
Allow me to interject with that. Skip Bayless. At the time that DeMarco Murray, it was very early in the season, when you looked at DeMarco Murray, you said, this guy he's bringing it, baby. That's what you said. I'm saying to you, you could not have had the foresight to see, rather than run him into the ground, he is somebody that we can sit there and we can preserve rather than give him 390. Hold on, let me finish. Rather than give him 392 carries. How about give him 292 carries or something along those lines? Let Dunbar or Randall run the football more, because I think it's Dunbar. I'm sorry, I think it's Randall. It's either Randall or Dunbar that averaged about 6.7 yards a rush. It was Randall. So I'm sitting there saying to you, if you have that going on, you could have preserved DeMarco Murray, because it's not just about this season, it's about the future. But since they have been out of the playoffs for 4 years, losing to every division opponent they could find in the last regular season game of the season 3 years in a row to all 3 different teams within their division, what happens is they were so desperate to make the playoffs, they ran DeMarco Murray around. And in my opinion,
they couldn't keep him.
Well, again,
Philly way overpaid for DeMarco Murray at his age and stage.
But they way overpaid for him because they're thinking about the 845 yards rushing. I think had DeMarco Murray not been used up as much, ran significantly less, I don't think that the Eagles would have came and gave him that money, because they would have looked at his level of production. They would have said, you know how this NFL works. They would have said 1,845. Well, what if he just ran for 1,400 yards? What if he just ran for 1,300 yards? He wouldn't have got the same money. And as a result, he would have been somebody that wouldn't have had that money in the free agent market. The Dallas Cowboys could have been able to keep him, but they had no intention of paying him.
Okay.
They had no intention of paying him.
Here's why. You are underestimating how great, I mean great, that Darren McFadden can be next year. He had a monster college career.
Yes, he did.
He has a good relationship with Jerry Jones because Jerry's a big Arkansas booster.
Yes, I know all of that.
Okay? He was never quite happy. You have called the Oakland Raiders a football atrocity.
They are
Am I right?
atrocity.
Okay, thank you very much.
I really
So
he
was beat up. He couldn't stay healthy. But the 1 year that he did stay healthy in 2010, he had 1,664 total yards from scrimmage. That's pretty good.
This is college?
No, at the Raiders in 2010.
Yeah, in 2010. How many? So let me get this straight, Skip Bayless, because I'm at a loss.
Yeah.
I'm at a loss. Help me out, Molly. I need your help.
I think you're struggling. Is what
No. I need your help because something just an epiphany hit me. Could y'all turn off that B-roll, please? I need the camera on me at this moment in time. Forget all them highlights because an epiphany hit me. When we were talking about the quarterbacks last year, Skip Bayless specifically said, when I brought up Aaron Rodgers winning a Super Bowl, oh my Lord, I don't even remember. What year was that?
2010.
Oh, but now that it's come to Darren McFadden, we can remember 2010.
Oh, now we're putting Darren McFadden in the same sentence with Aaron Rodgers? Aaron Rodgers' stock is going down. Now Aaron Rodgers is compared to
he's
Darren McFadden.
Molly, he's interrupting because he knows I got him.
Oh, you didn't get me. You got you.
Ernestine is watching right now. I know she is. Everybody's watching. Let me tell you, Skip Bayless had amnesia when it came to the Super Bowl MVP
We're
in 2010.
talking about the guy you said the best quarterback in pro
Allow me to finish. But now you remember what Darren McFadden. So I don't remember what Aaron Rodgers did in 2010, but I remember what Darren McFadden did in 2010. You're caught. You got caught.
You're caught.
Amnesia. Where's the amnesia now, Skip? So you do remember what happened in 2010.
That was a lame reach. I got to tell you.
No. The issue is you do remember what happened in 2010 after all, don't you? You remember now because of Darren McFadden.
I just looked it up this morning because I had to remember. I knew he had one decent year.
Darren McFadden is...
Wait, was Aaron Rodgers really in 2010? It seems like it was 2008.
There we go. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is what he does. This is what he does. I'm trying to tell you.
Darren McFadden, Aaron Rodgers.
Nope.
Yep,
has nothing to do with that.
They're on par.
It's 2010.
Here they are.
It's 2000. You can remember Darren McFadden in 2010, but not Aaron Rodgers. That's my point. But here's the point. Darren McFadden can ball. I am not questioning his skill set at all. I got serious questions about that durability. And you know it, which is why you didn't rave about his arrival when it happened. You said it's a good pick, he can play, but I don't know because blah, 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 blah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
You seem to like every Cowboy more and more.
And by the way, Joseph Randle, issues off the field, I'll be the first to admit.
Oh, please.
Listen, 8 yards a carry
listen. Joseph Randle, the only problem is the brother don't need to be stealing perfume from the department store. That's his only problem. It's no big deal, but it was embarrassing, but it was no big deal. He doesn't have off-field problem. Just put some cologne on before you leave.
So bottom line, you got the Cowboys finishing what, third in the NFC?
No, I told you. I told you before that they would win the division by default. I'm not
default?
I'm not, even though I listened to my man Michael Smith this morning on Mike and Mike, I am not sold on what Chip Kelly is doing in Philadelphia. I'm certainly not sold on the Washington Redskins with Gruden and those boys. And the New York Giants, I got questions about their defense, but more importantly, their offensive line. I think that they have the receivers. I think with Eli Manning and those three wideouts, they could do big-time damage with Randall, with Odell Beckham Jr., with Victor Cruz. But I got questions about their offensive line, and if they can't protect Eli Manning, it's going to be a problem. So by virtue of default, I think the Cowboys are in a better position to win the division this year. I'm going to be fair to the Cowboys.
I think they're going to win it by virtue of defense, not default. Defense.
Okay.
It's going to be way better.
Well, you got 6 games within your division. As far as I'm concerned, the Cowboys should win 5 of them. They should win 5 of those 6.
Well, that means they're a Super Bowl contender then. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if your definition of a Super Bowl contender is somebody making the playoffs, you're right. But do I think they're going to beat Seattle? Nope, not this year. I think Seattle's going to get them back.
Oh, they got them last year.
Do I think they're going to beat Green Bay in the playoffs?
Yep.
I do not.
I do not.
Yeah. I do not. And
this
matter
year
of fact,
at Dallas.
and if Carson Palmer stays healthy, I don't know if they're going to beat Arizona. That's right, I said it.
I think they had a B in that article. I know we focused on the NFC East. The only team to receive an A, the Dolphins. Very interesting. So you can check out the rest in USA Today. Nate Davis.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
Jordan Spieth's historic run cut short at St. Andrews, but how many more in store for the 21-year-old? We'll discuss that after the break.